Hey, what's up guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of Playing Gemstone Legends. It's been a while. I took a little bit of a hiatus from all things YouTube, but I'm back. I still have been playing the game, Gemstone Legends, quite a bit, and this hero that just came out this week, I'm very excited about it, and I wanted to share my thoughts and also her gameplay with you. So let's take a look at her skills, and then let's see her in action. We'll start with her active ability. There's three things that she can do, right? So she is a positive status remover, and at level 1, she removes 1, and then starting at level 3, she can remove 2 stats. She also will reduce the number of turns of the positive stats on your enemies. So the way it works is there are a lot of stats that will have, number of turns that decreases on their turn. By removing it by 2, or by decreasing by 2, you give them less time to be able to benefit from those stats. And I believe if the stat is already at 2 or lower when you activate this, you can actually just remove it altogether. So I haven't tested yet, so it's not an outright removal, but I believe if you activate multiple times, you could remove up to basically 4 positive stats. And then you can also inflict silence on all enemies for a single turn. Now, I actually really like the silence status. And so I use a lot of heroes that use silence, and I quite enjoy it. So it's nice to see another hero that uses it. In fact, she doubled down on this. If the enemy has less than 100 mana and you attack them with your gemstones, you also inflict decreased defense so that others can deal more damage to them. If the enemy has 100% mana and is about to activate their skills, you can attack them with your gemstones and then inflict silence for a turn. If you can maximize up to level 5, you can actually inflict silence for 2 turns. So I've used up all of my saved up tomes, so I can only get to level 4, but level 5 is really where it's at. You can increase this by another turn. And then this is the most influential or the most impactful status of the entire hero, and that is enemies cannot receive increased defense status. So this is going to make all of your enemies easier to attack, and the fact that they cannot do increased defense just means they have one less sort of arsenal that they can use. All right. Now, if you take a look at the loadout, you'll see that I focus on speed here. So as much as possible, I'm looking for speed. Now, I don't have the best speed gear remaining, so I just did what I could. And so for the rest of her stats, though, I focus on health. So health and accuracy. So I have health for my gloves and then accuracy for my armor, and then I put in also a cursed set so that I can get a little bit more. So you can see I'm running with 163% accuracy right now. It's worked out okay for me so far. Her awakening actually focuses on her speed as well. So you can see at 5-star and 6-star, it's all about speed. And the reason for that is because you want her to be able to go early, you want her to go often. And so I try to boost her speed. I'm at 364 right now, not where I really would like it to be. Ideally, I would have her about 400 or higher to match my other heroes, but 364 works for me. And so let's go ahead and jump into arena fight. Let's take a look and see how she works here. So you can see we have an opponent that uses Rosalia. Rosalia is basically everywhere right now, and same thing with Capre. They're all defense-based heroes. So by having Oltiza on your team, it means they cannot have that benefit. They cannot have that status. And so that right off the bat is going to make it easier for your attack. So let's go in and see her in action just to see what her skill looks like, her animation, etc. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and just do some matches here. We're going to be able to activate, let's see, we will be able to activate Oltiza next. And I forgot to put in a relic on her, so it's okay, we'll do it for next time. But I did forget to mention, I also put in the Staff of Misery on her. So what this does is it'll increase her accuracy, and she can also inflict silence when it's her turn, and everyone else's resistance is removed. So it just makes it easier for her to activate her stats. So I'm actually going to go ahead and target down Nestorin. So let's go ahead and put in the gems attacks here. So we're going to go ahead and target him down actually. And so we will go ahead and use Katsuro here. And so what's nice here is if there were any abilities, any positive stats there, she would have removed 2 of them already. But we're going to go ahead and take out Nestorin. here, and then we will eventually focus on Rosalia. But for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to try to remove those green and yellow gems from our opponents, so that, you know, I want to try and not have. I wanted to try to make sure that Julon doesn't go, but unfortunately, he's still going to be able to activate. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to try and make sure that, see, this is where it would have really been helpful if I could make sure that I have two, where I can use her ability to inflict silence for 2 turns, Oltiza, because I can attack Celeste and inflict 2 turns of silence, but right now I can just inflict 1, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to make our yellow gem matches. I'm focusing on yellow gem matches because I don't want her to get the yellow gems and have Rosalia be able to attack. Okay, and so having 2 turns of silence would have been really helpful here, but I'm able to survive, I believe. I did lose Street Block, but that's okay, because as long as I can get rid of Rosalia, I'm going to be okay. So we're going to go ahead and attack. This is I didn't do a video on Katsuro, but this is a perfect sort of counter to Katsuro. So now you can see we removed 2 positive stats, and I believe we also removed more because they just had 2 turns remaining. All right, quick edit here. As I went back to review the video on what happened, because it looked like a ton of positive stats got reduced, what ended up happening was it's actually this skill that we need to pay attention to, and that is 100% to decrease number of turns actually is a much more powerful skill, in that it is reducing the turns of a type of stat. And so in this case, Soul Replenish is what Street Block would actually apply to everyone, and it's the same type of stat. It just stacked. It's just multiple of them. And so in this particular case, there's only 1 turn of Soul Replenish remaining, but there are 5 of them. And so what happened was her ability, Oltiza's ability, actually reduced the number of turns for the Soul Replenish, and so it removed all 5 of those skills, those positive stats, from the reduction. So this particular skill is actually a lot more powerful, especially when it deals with stacking positive stats. So that's one thing I didn't mention in the beginning. I just thought I wanted to call this out so that you see and understand what happened here. All right, let's go back to the actual fight again. What we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and get some gem matches here. I guess I will not be able to use, I guess I won't be able to get the blue gems matched here. Otherwise, I could test it up. But it looks like I was able to remove up to 4 stats here, because what I did was I removed 2, and then I reduced the turn by 2 for others. And so they basically lost 4 positive stats there. So that's how it works, okay? And so we're going to go ahead and just kind of finish out the fight. But you can sort of see that, you know, the Oltiza's ability to silence everyone really quickly, and also, you know, if you put the Staff of Misery on her, you just give her more opportunities to silence, right? So like there's just like silence after silence after silence, and it really makes a big impact, and a big sort of, it does make a difference. It really, really makes a difference to your fights when you can actually silence your opponents. You know, freeze is good, but I actually really like silence personally, because what you can do is there are some cases where, because they're silenced, they're forced to attack using gemstones. And there are a lot of heroes now that sort of take advantage of the gemstone attacks, and then they can retaliate and they can attack, where you can't really do that with freeze. So I actually like freeze. I like using silence, and most heroes aren't immune to silence except for Nefre, and so it works out pretty well. So that is pretty much the fight right there, right? So you can see that she was actually really helpful here. Her ability to get rid of positive stats and her ability to silence is key, but the biggest thing here is none of these heroes were able to benefit from increased defense. So you can take your attack hero and you can, you know, knock him down a lot easier than before. And you can sort of also see there's other combinations here. For example, Helica, for example, begins the so she has the ability to give increased defense at the beginning of the wave. For example, Helica will no longer be able to do that at the beginning, so that's one less positive stat that they can already benefit from. And so it is just a really impactful hero, I think. So Oltiza is definitely a hero that is going to make a huge difference in your arena fight. I think that she is definitely worth going after if you don't have her already. Well worth wish listing. And if you do get her, I highly recommend that you go for speed, give her a little bit of health to survive, and then put accuracy for the rest of her stats so that you can actually take advantage of all of her skills. So that's going to be it for me for today. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope that I can, I'm going to try and be more regular with the videos I make. So it's just been a crazy summer for me, but I'm hoping to get back into it slowly. So thanks a lot for watching. Take care, everyone. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye now.